and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored, but like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too, and we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
So welcome to the communications world 2024, where anything can be said, and sometimes this happens, but Alex Spiro was just livid on behalf of his clients and got what he was seeking.
Yes, and he's joining us right now to discuss the case, or actually, I guess he stopped it from becoming a case. Alex, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Nice to see you guys.
So, Alex, this must have been shocking to you that somebody comes on a show and then kind of levels these vague-ish allegations saying that
there needs to be a study done on Bad Bunny. In the beginning, Bad Bunny was a medium rare Puerto Rican. He started becoming more Hollywood, caught up with the Kardashians. What is the catalyst for him becoming a well-done Puerto Rican? He's now, post-Kardashian, he's a well-cooked, through and through, island boy. This isn't my thought, but it provokes thought.
Bad Bunny has a song that he sampled from Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On, and it looks like Bad Bunny and his friends that were featured on the song were not happy that they had to share the royalties, the money they would earn from the song being streamed, with Missy Elliott, and they claimed in an interview that she takes 99% of the royalties.
Number one is addicted to 90s TV. She looks like Blossom, so I can go with that. Number two is addicted to dressing like he's in a Bollywood film.
He's just into the lifestyle.
He's just into the lifestyle.
Number three.
Oh my.
Is that crazy? That's how they sing.
Number three looks like Madonna a little bit, so I'm gonna go strange addiction, likes to look like Madonna.
Addicted to having black kids?
There's specific.
What is an addiction?
Okay. Hey, Herm. Dwayne said addicted to having black kids.
Number four is addicted to crack. I don't have anything else. I'm sorry, number four. And
Look how he looking too.
And number five, you look like you're addicted to scaring people.
Oh my goodness.
Who do you think off looks though has the actual strange addiction?
I think mullet for sure. Mullet people are very.
Very hard to look at this situation and see it as anything other than a blatant attack on free speech. But if you look out right now, there are a lot of so-called free speech warriors and anti-cancel culture people that are out rejoicing that the government appears to have pressured a company to punish and shut down a TV host over something he said. And it seems to show that a lot of times for many of those people, it's not actually about having principles and beliefs around freedom of speech and often other freedoms, but really about wanting power, control, and getting what they think is a warranted revenge. In fact, sometimes you'll see people online saying, it's our turn, right? Let me be clear when I'm talking with you here. If a company reaches the conclusion to get rid of people on their own, cool, that's the free market. But when it's obviously because they don't want to deal with government harassment and threats, or they want to get preferential treatment, or they need merger approval, that is a very, very different thing. That is a scary, scary thing. They want you scared. They want you to shut up and obey in advance. Please don't. Please do not, right? Use your voice while you can, because it's not going to get easier to speak out tomorrow. You will be next. It's just a
Sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Guys, he's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
Right, immediately you had right-wing influencers and activists slamming Kimmel in general, but especially for his words about MAGA trying to cast Kirk's killer as, quote, anything other than one of them in order to score political points. And you had many of them basically accusing Kimmel of just flat-out lying, or saying that Kimmel was essentially saying that the killer was actually MAGA. But at the same time, you had people defending Kimmel saying he wasn't saying that the killer was MAGA, but rather that MAGA was more focused on trying to point blame. And then, of course, in addition to that, you had people who had issue with how he was talking about Donald Trump and his reaction to Charlie Kirk's death. But in any case there, one of the people that did not like Kimmel's comments was right-wing commentator Benny Johnson. And so then with that, to talk about Kimmel, Johnson had on his podcast none other than Brendan Carr, the chair.
they would need, while the 3 girls played outside the cabin. Now, there's no neighbors or anybody else anywhere near this cabin, and so it was totally normal to have the girls just play outside. They were not concerned about, them getting taken or something. And so the 2 older girls played in the front yard of the cabin, and Geraldine, the 5-year-old, was playing on the side of the cabin. So the 2 girls in front couldn't see Geraldine, and the adults, they were keeping their eye on all 3 girls, but they were mostly just kind of going in and out of the cabin, getting their stuff together, periodically poking their head out, but the girls were fine. At 10 a.m. that morning, the parents had finally packed up the car, and they were ready to collect the girls to head over to the lake. And so they went outside, they got the 2 girls that were out front, and they went to the side of the house, and they couldn't find Geraldine. Now, they weren't worried, because where could she have gone? And so they walked around the house, they're yelling for Geraldine, and they asked the 2 girls, have you seen Geraldine? Where'd she go? And they're like, oh, we don't know. She was just over on the side of the house a minute ago. And so they can't find her outside, and so they go in the cabin thinking she must have gone in there, because that's the only place she could be.
The upcoming run. If you've been to Disney World and gone to the Carousel of Progress ride, it's pretty much the same thing as that. On the day of her passing, Stone was brutally crushed between 2 of the building's walls during this brief period. As it turns out, there was a tight opening that allowed the stages to move between one of its motionless walls and a rotating wall. Unfortunately, Stone somehow ended in that crevice, and it killed her at 10:37 p.m. Many believe that she may have stepped back or fallen or attempted to leap onto another stage as the wall was moving. However, speculation aside, it was never determined how exactly Stone found herself in this distressful situation. A park goer in an adjoining theater, 33-year-old Daniel Robinson, heard the girl's screams as the wall crushed her. The man told the authorities that he had seen Stone get crushed between the stage and the wall, which is when he began hearing her scream. Robinson immediately made the Disney staff aware of the accident. When they were resetting the ride at 11 p.m., Robinson and the operators found her, but sadly, Stone was already deceased. Following her demise, Disney temporarily closed the attraction as they investigated a disaster that they believed to be impossible. While the ride was out of commission,
stereotypes come to mind. There are the parties, there are the beautiful people, all the glitter, the glam, and then there's the other stuff. Super dark stuff like studios covering up violent crimes, feeding kids drugs to keep them awake longer, sexual assault, forced abortions, and secret murders that happened on set, and of course, cover-ups. Basically, there's a lot more drama behind the scenes than on the scenes. I know, they just turn the cameras around, and what a great show. So let me open up my little dark history book here to the Hollywood chapter. I found it. Okay, friends, so how did we get here? Well, we're gonna go all the way back to 1883 when a guy named Harvey Henry Wilcox bought 150 acres of wide open, undeveloped land near Los Angeles. And this happens to be the exact area we know today as Hollywood.
Like him more? Really?
No, he's better at her and talking. He's better at talking. Like the whole thing is not like who's a better government. Look, the guy who was the fucking host of The Apprentice is the president of the United States for the second time. Like this doesn't nothing.
I'm back, baby.
Nothing makes any sense.
No, it
so
doesn't.
It's like the system is like. It's a goofy system. It's a popularity contest to see who controls the nukes.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Who controls the nukes? I just feel like lefties and righties don't like him.
You're right.
Both people don't like him.
But there's no choices other than him on the left, and the people on the left are only going to vote on the left, and that's it. Unless some Mamdani guy comes out of left field. And
Is that
says,
the New York guy?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
He's going to win. He's going to win.
The Mamdani guy. What was his policy? What did he run on?
He ran on everything. Rent control, stabilize rent. He's going to tax the rich people way more than before. But businesses are going to run out of that place.
Can't do that to you guys.
Not again.
It could have been Angela Chance and then Courtney here, and they just go
Oh
about
my
it.
god.
That's
Talk about it
true.
all.
That's true.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
So look, yeah, we're married.
We're married.
We're married.
Whoa, what? Dude, I had no idea.
There are people still, and I mean, the reason I was like, we need to actually talk about it a little bit, is there are still comments of people like, wait, are they actually?
Yeah.
It's been a month, and there's still people who are
Guys,
unsure.
they're married.
I saw a comment on my post yesterday on Instagram that was like, my friend thinks you guys are dating. L them.
Major L.
Well, people didn't know that you guys were dating, and then
we
found
didn't.
out that you guys were married.
Yeah, we didn't tell anyone.
Outside of, like, everyone in our world knew that we were together.
Oh, yeah.